sun's finally out for one of these. We get stuck in the shade.
So at least a bit warmer today.
We welcome you here to Walker Park on what is a somewhat surprisingly sunny Saturday morning at the moment for our Deakin University women's match of the round. This fixture coming to you from our Division 3 competition, as it's the Mitcham Tigers who host the Ferntree Gully Eagles here. As the reserves are just playing on ahead of us, as Berwick is up 2 points on Mitcham in a close one. But as we start to get into our pre-match coverage, my name's Christopher Cordes, who welcome you in. I'm joined by Oscar Ludke here behind me in the caller's chair. Oscar, how are we feeling today?
Yeah, good. It's nice. The weather's looking nice today. The sun's out, and yeah, good game ahead of us.
That's exactly right, and conditions are quite, I have to say, almost perfect at this stage. You know, it's not too hot, not too cold. Sun's out, not a lot of cloud cover at this stage, and a dry-looking field out in front of us. I believe this is dubbed the MCG of the East, and we can see why here out at Walker Park. So thanks for joining us on our Facebook and YouTube streams. This game will be kicking off at about 20 to 11. That's 10:40 a.m. and we'll bring you coverage from this game and then from around the grounds, as well as we have some women's games kicking off at our normal 10:40 start time, and some women's games, the first bounce will be a bit later. So we'll be getting to that. We will hear soon from assistant coach of Mitcham, Simon Greeley, and later on from Ferntree Gully head coach Dwayne Stanglen, as Kate Green is with us, who will be on our boundary today, of course, doing all the work behind the scenes, her alongside LKLM Media, who are the best in the biz in bringing us all of our coverage here. It makes our job easy, but we are joined now by assistant coach of the Mitcham Tigers, Simon Greeley. Simon, welcome. How are you feeling today?
I'm very nervous right now, but hopefully feeling quietly confident about the game, but a bit nervous right now.
That's excellent, and obviously a big game here today. How important is it in terms of the season and in pushing for finals to get a result out of today?
Yeah, well, Ferntree Gully got us last time. They played really well, and they're sort of equal fourth, and we're just under that, a couple of games back. So yeah, it's very important for our season. We've had a couple of good games lately, last week especially. Hoping that'll roll into today and set us up for the rest of the season.
Excellent. And you mentioned last time that you played Ferntree Gully, they got over the top of your side. How much do you take from that game, given that you've played them already this season? Do you change the preparation, or is it business as usual, or how does that go?
For whatever reason, we do tend to play a bit better on our own deck. But yeah, Ferntree Gully were really strong last time. They had a couple of really good midfielders, some strong forwards, and they got out the back a few times and kicked some easy goals on us. So all credit to them. So we're hoping to shut that down a little bit today. But yeah, we've got a strong back line, some good midfielders, and hopefully a really strong forward line today. Hopefully we'll do some damage.
What part of the team do you think is going to work hardest today? Will it be the back line, the mids, or the forwards? Which would you say is the strongest suit?
Well, hopefully it's going to be all of our players are going to be working their backsides off for us. Hopefully that'll be the case. But I do think our backs and mids especially will be under a bit of pressure today. But when the ball gets in our forward line, we're hoping to be really dangerous there too. So, yeah, hopefully everyone's pulling their weight today and doing their role, which we're looking forward to. But, yeah, we know that Ferntree Gully are going to be tough.
And have you changed anything up during the week to, come up against Ferntree Gully? Obviously, you mentioned they got you guys last time, so does anything change against them?
Well, we've got a new player starting today, Charlie. So she's starting today, first game for us. I looked at the sheet before. I think we've got 8 new players to the club this season. A couple of them are first-timers. So, we're seeing lots of improvement, which is really, really great to see. So, hopefully those players can lift and Charlie can have a good one for us today.
Excellent. Just lastly for you, Simon, I had a look at a few of your results so far this season. It seems like the magic number at the moment is 35. You can keep your opponents below 35 points. You puts you in good stead. You've got a 2-1 record there. So what I'd like to know is how important is it, or how much do you focus on the defensive side of your game to build you up for a win today?
Yeah, well, it's a really big focus for us. So we've got a bit of a saying, lots of pressure, relentless pressure. And last week we brought it against the top team, and they only kicked 2 goals, and they kicked 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth. So we really locked them down and played some really hard defensive footy. Not pretty all the time, but really effective. And so we're hoping to roll that into today and continue that high pressure game. And then when we get the footy, we've got to run and attack and hopefully kick a few goals.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Coach. I'm sure it's a busy morning ahead of you, so we'll let you go for now. But we appreciate you joining, and best of luck.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was assistant coach of the Mitcham senior women's side there, Simon Greeley, that we just heard from, and will be joined soon by head coach of the Ferntree Gully senior women's side, Dwayne Stangelin, as we're just organising to get him a microphone, as we will get to that interview soon. But a nice bit of insight there from Simon, as we just heard, as we're now getting the microphone set up for our Ferntree Gully head coach, Dwayne Stangelin. Dwayne, welcome to the pre-game coverage, if you will. How are you today? How are you this morning?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks for having us on. It's a cracking day for footy, isn't it? Sun's out, blue skies, 19s are kicking the jaw for us, so really excited for the contest ahead.
No, that's exactly right. And obviously being new to the division, or getting back up to Division 3 this season, how has the team gelled, or how has that process been in re-establishing yourselves after that promotion?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. You go up a division after having a pretty dominant year last year and learning new teams again and things like that. It's been a challenge we've really been excited for, and I think most weeks we've rocked up and been in most games, which has been really positive. So it's just been building on those sorts of things, just building that confidence and belief that they're good enough to play in this division, they're good enough to compete here, and we've definitely got some results that have shown that. And the exciting thing has been, even in the top teams like Heathmont and Coldstream, we've still been within a couple of goals of them as well. So hopefully today we can keep building on that and try and keep ourselves in that finals conversation.
Excellent. And I believe at the moment you are 5th, I think, equal on points with 4th as it stands. How important is this game in really using it as a stepping stone to start to really build that momentum into the finals? Oh,
it's huge. We're sort of in that position. Last week was a bit of an 8-point game for us, which we were able to get the result. And this week's the same. Mitcham's a really, really good side, especially at home. They play this ground very well. We're under no illusions of the contest that's ahead of us. But when we spoke to the girls earlier, that's what we're sort of saying. Like, if we're in control of the possibility of playing finals and that, and it's games like this where we've really got to rock up to the contest and try and get that win. We don't want to leave ourselves in a position where we're relying on other teams and their results to whether you do or don't play finals. So again, it's an 8-point game for us. Some results go away, we get ourselves in the 4, at least we stay within touching distance of them, and we give ourselves another game or two ahead of the teams that are below us, trying to catch us.
Coming up against a side as good as Mitcham, is there what's the main sort of focus coming up against them, and have you changed anything during the week, or is it just the same?
No, we haven't changed too much during the week. Look, we know that they're a really physical sort of side. They're really good in the contest and all that sort of stuff. So we, we probably have 2 different styles in that sort of sense. So it's generally who's going to be able to get their style of play to work for longer periods of the game and take those opportunities when they come. But yeah, look, Mitcham, especially on this ground, you look at their results over the last couple of years. They've made this a bit of a fortress. There's never an easy game here, and it's probably a bit smaller ground than a lot of the grounds in the comp. So we've just got to adjust to that as quick as possible and use the ground to our advantage and just make really good decisions early and get ourselves to a good start.
And one last question. Do you think it will be the mids, backs or forwards working the hardest for you guys today? And what's the strongest part of the side for you guys?
I think for most teams, it's a sense of everybody needs to be playing their role. So, our backs need to be supporting our mids supporting the forwards, mids supporting the backs, forwards supporting the mids. Especially on a ground like this, when if it does get congested and stuff like that, you've got to be disciplined, you've got to be accountable to things, and really look to use the footy really cleanly. So, it's going to be a team effort. I think both teams, it does start in the middle of the ground like this, who can get the clearances and get it going their way first and control territory. But yeah, it really does come down to the whole team's really just got to make sure that we stand up consistently for 4 quarters if we want to get the result today.
Excellent. And Dwayne, just before we let you go, a win today would give you your first set of consecutive wins this season. How important is it to really start to focus on building that consistency as we push towards September?
Oh, it's huge. If there's we spoke about that. One couple of things we haven't achieved is a win away from home. And also, therefore, we haven't been able to get 2 in a row in that. So we know we're good enough to do that. We know we're competitive enough. So it's just a challenge to tick off. Last week was beating someone that was above us in the 4. We got that with South Croydon. This week's about getting that 2 in a row. And again, being able to beat a really, really tough team in Mitcham and keep control of where our story sort of ends and whether there's finals or not, in that story. So yeah, it's huge. It's an 8-point game, and if we can get the win today, it just continues building on a really positive step for the rest of our season.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Coach. We appreciate it, and best of luck for today. I'm sure it's a busy morning ahead of you.
Thanks heaps, boys. Love you guys do all the match of the rounds and the podcast and all that, so keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you very much to head coach there of the Ferntree Gully senior women's team, Dwayne Stangelen, that we just heard from. So that's a bit of insight from both of our coaches today. Of course, assistant coach of the Mitcham Football Club that we grabbed for Simon Greeley, as Jess Grace is their head coach and he's a player coach at that. So she will be out there today, as we are now joined by throwing on the headset Kate Green, who will be on the boundary as always. Kate, how are you feeling ahead of today?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm feeling really good. It's slightly warmer than what I was about an hour or so ago, but still cold.
And Kate, do you have a tip for us today, or a bit of insight today as to how you think this game might go?
Well, I did tip Ferntree Gully, so I'm going to stay by that. But I think it's going to be a really good game. I would have tipped Mitcham, but a little bit of inconsistency, and I'm just kind of liking the form of Ferntree Gully at the moment. They're playing well. They've really adjusted to coming up to this division, as Dwayne's alluded to, has been a bit of a learning curve for them. But also with Mitcham, Jess Grace, coach and player, their team, like all teams, have got new players in, people coming back from injury or out through injury. So it's just going to be a really interesting contest.
That's exactly right. And looking at the match day record up on the EFNL website, it's between all 4 of us that are doing the senior women's comps. It is Ferntree Gully that we've all tipped. So adds another layer of, I guess, something a bit interesting that we just heard from the head coach Dwayne Stangelen. They haven't won away from home so far this season, which I wasn't aware of. So it will definitely be a big test here today.
But sometimes having that, like building your confidence, like winning at home against teams that, okay, you might have a good record away, but first season in and they're winning at home against teams, you've got to be proud of that. You really got to be proud of that. Not taking anything away from Mitcham, but I feel Mitcham this year has just been a little bit more inconsistent. But that said, it's still going to be a great game.
That's exactly right. And Oscar, do you have a tip for today?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Ferntree Gully as well. I think although they've got a lot of new players to the club, they seem to be linking up pretty well. So yeah, I'll have to go with them today.
So it's a clean sweep for the Ferntree Gully women's side, which in past match of the rounds when that happens, it almost means one thing for certain, and that's the team that we all tip is going to lose. But we'll keep an eye on that because...
Well, not always, and it's definitely not the caller's curse because we're all down in the record even before we started calling.
That's fair. That's a very good point, Kate.
I will see you gentlemen on the boundary.
We'll let you go to the boundary soon. Kate Green always doing a great job there. Is in the reserves game between Mitcham and Berwick just ahead of us. You would have heard the siren go during our large coaches interview. That was Berwick getting over the top of the Tigers by a point. I believe that was 41-42. Well, it's a very closely fought contest there in the Rezzies, but if we get something anywhere resembling that hard fought of a contest or that close of an outcome, we will be absolutely spoilt out here at Walker Park. So having a look at the form of these two teams coming into today as the teams are just starting to take the field and do their final preparations for today. Mitcham entered today in 6th position with 8 points, a record of 2-6. Like we've heard, a lot of players returning to footy or new to footy or coming through their juniors for the Tigers. But last time these two sides played, it was Ferntree Gully at home, 9-7-61, defeating Mitcham 1-8 on that day. The Eagles had 4 multiple goal kickers. It was Tia McClellan with the best on votes in that fixture. The last 3 results for Mitcham. Round 6, 5-7-37, they defeated South Croydon 4-9-33. Mitcham was scoreless in the 3rd quarter, but outscored South Croydon 21-8 there in the 4th. In round 7, North Ringwood 13-7-85 defeated Mitcham 4-2-26. That was a game where Georgia Fairbairn kicked 3 goals. And then last week, round 8, Mitcham 1-6-12, defeated by 2-9-21 Heathmont, the league leaders, just 9 points away from them. So no goals kicked in the first half for either team in that encounter. So conditions probably playing a part, but good signs for the Tigers coming into this one. And after this, they'll take on a 7th place Eastern Devils side away from home. They'll travel to 2nd place Coldstream before hosting Chirnside Park, who sit 8th on the table. And on the other side of the footy, we have Ferntree Gully, like we heard, new to the division now, as they won promotion in a grand final win last season against, I believe it was Bayswater. They sit on 5th. They're out of the top 4 on percentage alone with a record of 4-4. Like we heard, they've gone 1-1 throughout this season, yet to string consecutive wins together, yet to win away from home, as we heard from head coach Dwayne Stangelin. Was there 1-4 against the teams above them. That win did come last week against South Croydon. As Ferntree Gully 4-7-31 defeated the Bulldogs 2-8-20. In the 2nd quarter, the Eagles kicked 2-3-15 to 1-6, and that was enough for them to hold on to the win. The week before that, they played the undefeated Heathmont Juggernaut and fell short to them by 13 points. That was 4-9-33, played 3-2-20. It was Ferntree Gully scoreless in the 1st and 3rd quarter, so perhaps a scoring end down there at Heathmont. And before that, another game where a heavy scoring end was observed, where Ferntree Gully 5-8-38 defeated 3-4-22 Chirnside Park, in very heavy scoring ends there. And quarter by quarter, looking at the box-to-box scores we could see. And then in round 2, obviously, when these two sides met previously, it was...
Chris?
Yes, Kate?
Ferntree Gully seems to have held their own just from the scores you've been reading out, and have been closer to their opposition with the games they've lost than Mitcham from those scores.
That's certainly right, and they've been building nicely. And like we said before, in the round 2 fixture, it was Tia McClellan voted best on for Ferntree Gully, and for the Tigers, it was Ruby Jory Wright. So 2 players to look out for today. Looking through the Ferntree Gully list, it doesn't look like Tia McClellan is listed, so she'll be an out for today. But the next fixtures after this one for the Eagles will be hosting 2nd place Coldstream before travelling away to a 7th place Eastern Devils, and then hosting a 4th placed North Ringwood side. So an interesting point of the season for both of these teams. Oscar, it's a bit of an 8-pointer. Obviously, the team's next to each other on the ladder despite being separated by a game. But how important is this game, do you think, to really pushing on for finals contention and making the finals cut at the end of the season?
Yeah, it's massive, especially, as you said, saying as we get closer and closer to the finals, it'll play a massive part. Both these sides are going to want to get the win today, so it's going to be a close match right next to each other on the ladder as well. We're up for a big contest today.
Certainly right. And we'll go boundary side to Kate Green. Kate, you're down on the field at the moment. How are the conditions looking like out there?
Ground is actually really looking good. It's nice and firm, but again, there is dew everywhere. Even though we've had the 19s on the ground, found that watching that game, there's quite a bit of slippage. So the girls are just going to have to be, on a little bit more alert with the dew and that. And we're just getting the umpires out here now, and we're about to do the toss. So I'll let you know who wins that.
Thank you very much, Kate, as we just heard. So footy might be a bit slippery, ground might be a bit slippery underfoot at times, so territory becomes all the more important at this stage. But sun is out, and with minimal cloud cover, you don't expect the dew to hang out, or to hang around for long, I should say. So thank you for joining us on our Facebook and YouTube streams. We are just a few minutes away from getting the opening bounce in this fixture. As
Boundary.
Go for it, Kate.
Mitcham won the toss, and they've chosen to elect to kick towards the White Horse Road end. From note, everyone that knows Mitcham, the Walker Park, know that the scoring end seems to always be the old scoreboard side, which for those watching at home is on the left-hand side of your screen.
Thank you for that, Kate. So if you're in the area, you just heard we're at Walker Park, the MCG of the East as it's known. Come on down, we'll have a good game of footy ahead of us now, and then at 2:20 it will be the Premier Division fixture, Mitcham hosting Berwick. The Tigers in that one have come close on a number of occasions to picking up their first win, but just haven't quite gotten over the line. So that's a big opportunity for Mitcham there to pick up a win. As I've got a message coming through from Lee Green from LKLM Media. We have just the YouTube streams going for our women's matches. Thank you for that, Lee. Of course, plays somewhat of a big brother role in setting up all of our streams here and making sure that everything runs smoothly, as does all of LKLM Media, who are terrific in helping us bring you our content here at the EFNL. If you think our commentating the games are hard or doing the analysis is hard, that's only about 5 to 10% of what goes on throughout the week. So we can't thank them enough as our sides are set up for... Go on, Kate.
Just quickly, strategic is the reason why Mitcham have chosen the White Horse end.
Thanks for that, Kate. As the ball is up and we're away in our Deakin University women's match of the round here out at Walker Park, as it's Mitcham taking on Ferntree Gully. As looks like just no one really able to pick the ball up yet and take a clean possession. It's in the Mitcham forward 50s. Ferntree Gully will try to repel. Had hands to it, 2 hands, and was deemed the mark. Has come back from injury recently. She'll be looking to impose herself on this game, and it's an addition that the side will be happy to have, as she just looks to use the corridor. Out the back of the pack was a teammate, but couldn't quite take it. It's roosted forward by the Tigers, by Lucy Griffiths, and now an intercept mark taken by Ellinger and played on straight away. Just hoofs it up the corridor. Footy will hit the deck just past the cricket pitch here, and it's still yet to really be won as we wrapped up in the tackle. We'll have a ball up, not far from where we started.
So the umpire to ball it up back in the centre of the ground. Wrapped up again in a good tackle, so another stoppage. Ball comes to ground. Picking it up, and another tackle aid, so we'll have another stoppage here. Back down. Another strong tackle laid. And both teams be looking to score first to gain the momentum. Able to get the handball out. And a good mark taken by Leopold. Goes inside 45, trying to find a mark. Rolling ball out the back. And trying to escape and get the kick away. And it's going to be Cold holding the ball, so a big opportunity now for Ferntree Gully to score the first goal. So, lining up from about 15. Looks good. It's there. First goal for Ferntree Gully here at Walker Park.
That was number 9, Unginja.
Unginja, is it pronounced, Kate?
Think so, yeah. Apparently
Okay.
the first J, the J is silent according to the team manager. We do apologise in advance to those players that we may not correctly pronounce your names. We do try, but again, we apologise.
Yes, we do our best, and thanks for that, Kate, because that was quite a while away from how I would have pronounced it. So, Nicola Unginja with the first of the day here. Ferntree Gully's scoreboard reads Mitcham yet to score. Ferntree Gully 1-6. While we're waiting for the ball to be brought back into play, we do have some brilliant fixtures across the rest of our Eastern Football Netball League women's divisions today. One to look out for in Premier Division, it's first, second as South Belgrave hosts Park Orchards at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. That's a 2:30 p.m. opening bounce, so that one a lot later as the Eagles look to bring it out through Jessica Kirk as they win the stoppage in the centre and looking to fend off a couple tacklers, but we'll have a stoppage just inside the forward 45 arc here at Walker Park. Like we did here in our pre-game interviews, it is a bit of a smaller ground, so it means that we don't have inside 50s, we have inside 45s as Brianna Carter gets the ball forward but is tackled while she kicked it. Kirk's in pursuit, picks it up, got turned around in the tackle, so couldn't quite make clean contact, and we'll have a ball up just on the 45-metre arc towards Ferntree Gully's uprights as it's brought out by Brianna Carter again. The clearing kick would just hit turf as it was roosted forward. Now, plenty of bodies around the footy. We'll have another stoppage. So, Mitcham doing well to hold their own, but Ferntree Gully won't mind the fact that they're just taking a bit of territory each time there's a ball up called here. As around the footy is Unginja. And we'll have another stoppage.
Boundary.
Let's go boundary side to Kate Green.
Carter is dangerous to leave her loose even slightly. She is Ferntree Gully's 2024 club best and fairest.
Exactly right, Kate. She's won a few clearances early on, I should say, as Mitcham have been awarded a free kick here inside their defensive 45. So a chance to just assess options. There's a spare player out to the left, decides not to go there. She just look for a clearing kick and will find a teammate. I believe that's Jamie Messenger, who will look into the corridor. Kick dropped short. Eagles plays around the footy looking to bring it out. Ball hit the deck. I believe it's Messenger around it again. Now the kick just sent forward, looking for a bit of territory. We hit the deck. Bit of an uneven bounce off the cricket pitch. Looking to burst through for the Tigers is Paige Frost. Frost still in pursuit. She's chased by Brianna Smith. And now the Eagles looking to pick it up and bring it out. It was Frost who made the effort to get there, laying the tackle. So bit of territory dominance now, or chance to set up some territory dominance for the Tigers. So you're inside their forward 45, maybe 30 metres out as the ball will get out the back of the pack. Tigers pick it up, can't quite get boot to ball. As a Ferntree Gully player that picked it up, my apologies. And she was wrapped up in the tackle, and free kick's been awarded to the Tigers. So if the ball's in the hands of Danielle Fletcher, she's only got one goal for the season, but we'll look to make this a second. As she lines up, kick will come from about 25 out. Not much of an angle as kicks on its way. It will drop short and pull wide. So a minus score is Mitcham's first contribution to the scoreboard, as it's the Eagles with a 5-point lead early on.
It'll be McLeod to bring it back into play for Ferntree Gully. Plays on. Looking to clear it now. Finds a teammate in Carter. Looking downwards to that wing. It's a 2-on-1. Chasing it. There was Allinger as it goes out of play, so we'll have a ball up from the umpire. 6 minutes and 37 gone on the clock in the first term. Ferntree Gully leading 1 straight 6 to Mitcham 1 behind as the ball rolls back out of play in the pocket here.
Boundary.
Boundary side to Kate Green.
Both teams, if you leave either team, a player on either side loose, they're going to make you pay for it. So they're very evenly matched in that respect.
Ball comes back out of play here. So far it's been a pretty even contest. Mitcham will look to try and send this back inside their 45. A big bump there, got back up, got the hands away. Turned over to Ferntree Gully now. as the ball rolls towards the boundary line. Kept in, and in the end comes out of play once again here. So it will be a ball up from the umpire on the wing. Ball comes to ground. Able to escape and get the handball away was Kirk. Now wrapped up. Another good tackle, so we'll have another stoppage on the wing. Able to chase it now. Gets a handball out as she's tackled. Able to get it out was Bandera. Trying to get this forward, Mitcham, but another stoppage again will hold them up. Back up from the umpire. Able to clear it, not 15 called. So it will be no prior. All back underway. Carter gets a kick into the centre of the ground now. Able to get away with this one. Chance to go forward through Forster. Able to get the kick away. Campbell picking it up was Bamford. Now wrapped up, able to get the hands away. Inside, Ferntree Gully's forward 45, puts it on the boot to the top of the goal square. Could be a chance now. Able to get the kick away in the tackle. Right in the goal square, picks it up. Able to come out the back. I think that's through. I do not think that was touched. Great goal there, and Ferntree Gully. Oh no, it was touched, was it? Got a little bit excited there.
That's still great. I thought the umpire called, the goal umpire called a goal, but no, it was touched. So Ferntree Gully restores its lead to a kick. 6 points out here as Mitcham looking to clear their lines as footy stuck at the bottom of the pack. Still yet to be a real winner of the ball at the moment. It's fallen into the hands of Bridget Ellinger, who looks to bring it out, and body's dropping around the footy once more. Is still not quite wrapped up as Brenna Carter's around there applying some pressure, and we'll have a ball up. Quick result from Division 3. Obviously the early start. South Croydon Red 0-1-1 falling to Heathmont 8-8-56. We'll have another ball up in the centre of the ground here as in Division 4 it was Vermont 3-2-20 just getting over the top of Bayswater 2-4-16 out at Vermont Rec Reserve. So a few results from our early starts. We will have scores for you throughout this broadcast of what's happening in other divisions.
Boundary.
Let's go boundary side to Kate Green.
I think we all picked Bayswater, didn't we, against Vermont?
I will check that for you, Kate. I think looking at our match day record, there are a lot of games that we all tipped the same on, and you're right, that is one of them. All four of us tipped Bayswater, so well done at Vermont picking up a bit of an upset win there as the Eagles have been awarded a free kick in the centre of the field here, and they'll look to bring it out to the far side, standing under the footy, getting two hands as it was Donna Parler as she couldn't quite take it cleanly. And now in pursuit for Mitcham is Jess Grace, the playing coach. She looks to go forward, got it to a teammate, wrapped up in a tackle, ball spilled loose. In pursuit, trying to tackle is Brianna Smith of the Eagles. And we'll have a stoppage. So 20 metres out from the Mitcham upright. So the Tigers still looking to get their first goal of the day. As it's bounced out the back of the pack, around is Georgia Fairbairn. And it wasn't quite rushed over, so there's a bit of a goal line scramble at the moment here, and we'll have a ball up, maybe a step out from the goal line here from Mitcham's goals. So it'll be Jess Grace in the ruck, looking to get it again. It fell to Fairbairn. Still no one really quite able to get it clear and of another ball up. So we didn't move an inch there as we're still in the goal square. Jess Grace will do the ruck work again for her side, wins the hit out. Kick was on its way, didn't quite make the distance as it looked to be brought out, and a juggling mark taken there by Keely O'Dwyer for Mitcham, who finds herself about 40 metres out or so. We just chip a kick into the corridor looking for a teammate, and it's an excellently taken grab from Riley Holloway who had to stand under the footies. It was a bit of a lofty kick, but now has a chance to get reward for her effort as she lines up. Kicking from about 35 metres out. Little to no angle.
Riley Holloway is one of those players that we're noted to keep an eye on for Mitcham.
The one to watch, Holloway. The run-up goes in, kicks on its way. It looks true. An absolutely brilliant set shot from her. As Mitcham get their first of the day, Holloway gets her fourth of the season. And we are all tied up here at Walker Park as the scoreboard reads for Mitcham and Ferntree Gully, 1-1-7 apiece.
Awesome start for both sides. Neither of them giving an inch so far in this match. A great contest at Walker Park.
Just early on score from Premier Division. Vermont yet to score. Eastern Devils 2-12. So the Devils on top after somewhat disappointing loss last week.
So back in the middle of the ground now. And pack forms, can they get it out? Sent forward. Trying to collect the footy. Able to get hands on it was Campbell, who sends it forwards in the direction of Carter. She's not able to grab it. Tried to soccer it off the ground. And now wrapped up, so we'll have a ball up just outside the forward 45 for Ferntree Gully. Sent forward by Carter. Didn't get much purchase on the kick. Now pack forms again, trying to get the ball out, but it's wrapped up.
Score from elsewhere in Division 3, Coldstream 0-1-1, trailing to Eastern Devils Black 2-1-13.
So, ball on this outer wing here. And rolling close to the boundary line now. And wrapped up, so another stoppage near the forward 45 for Ferntree Gully. Both teams tied at the minute. 14 minutes and 50 seconds gone in the first term. And there's a whistle here, and it will be a free kick in the direction of Mitcham.
That was for a push in the back.
Sends it towards the wing. And a good tackle laid there by Gray. This comes a back up from the umpire. Mitcham looking to work this ball forward again. Ball rolls past. Couldn't take control of it. Ferntree Gully able to clear it back towards the broadcast side. Picking up the footy and sending it forward. And to centre wing now. And intercepted, so Ferntree Gully good in defence here. And ball rolling towards the boundary, almost came out, stays in play. And a good tackle.
Boundary.
Go for it, Kate.
Just one critique I have with both teams. If you're getting the ball kicked to you, you've got to be in front. You can't be behind. Particularly with these two sides so evenly matched, you've got to be in front.
Thanks for that insight, Kate Green, down there on the boundary. Is a very good point with an 8-point game like this at the moment. Is you need to be winning your individual battles as it stands. So I'll have a ball in just inside from true centre wing here on this broadcast side. As looking to bring it out was Riley Holloway, who already has a goal to her name, and he's looking to add a bit more impact. As she looked to crush the pack there, was brought out, just got boot to ball, was Bridget Ellinger, who's been good early on today. Looking to burst out of the pack with it for the Tigers was Paige Frost. Does so, gets a kick forward. Now a 3v1. Eagles defender did well to soccer it off the ground. Gets it to the feet of Jessica Campbell, the standing captain for today. Is now looking to bring it out for the Eagles is Tess McLeod. Just gets a kick. It goes high. Grace was under it. So too was Messenger. Almost spoiled each other. Now the ball is going to hit some turf. A chance for the Eagles. Didn't bounce kindly. Went right over the head. Now the Tigers will go back. Just a bit of back and forth. Bit of return to sender here in the middle of Mitcham in the middle of Walker Park, I should say, is the Eagles have a spare in front of the ball, able to just clear it. Now in pursuit is Jessica Campbell. She's got time to pick up the footy and assess her options, but like we heard before, a bit wet down there at ground level, just wasn't able to pick up the footy evenly, and now it's found its way forward into the hands of Brianna Carter. She's had a good start to this game, and just take her time to assess her options as she takes the mark.
Like I said, you got to be in front.
Exactly right, Kate. As Carter giving herself a sizable run up here. We'll be kicking from about 40 metres out on just greater than a 45-degree angle as kicks on its way. It will fall short just in front of the top of the square. The Tigers had numbers there and will take the intercept mark well. So Mitcham defence have held up well. The ball's been down their end quite a bit and they've managed to keep Ferntree Gully to just 1-1-7. And like we heard in the pre-game, the magic number for this Ferntree Gully side, the magic number for this Mitcham side, I should say, is 35 points. If they can keep their opponents below that, they've got a 2-1 record, but the kick goes straight forward here and will go across the face and out. I would say for a boundary throw-in, but as per the last touch rule, it'll be Mitcham to bring it back in. So at the moment, 1-1-7 is a good showing defensively for the Tigers, but they need to work to get something on the board themselves as well, as they stand at 1-1-7 as well. So deadlocked here in our Deakin University women's match of the round so far, as that mark's taken, I believe, by Jess Grace, who's been brilliant so far, leading by example, the player coach. As she kicks to a pack, it's off hands, the ball will get out the back. Looking to bring it out was Frost. Now at the bottom of the pack, kicking it forward was Evelyn Bamford, just getting it clear, sending it inside forward 45, looking to get a bit of run going was Donna Parr. The ball's now in the hands of Carter, who gets a boot to it, and the goal umpire did not have to move an inch. Kate, I don't know how many times you need to say it, but you can't leave a player like Brianna Carter free. And
you can't leave her on. You've got to be in front of her. You've got to be sticking to her like glue. That was brilliant. I've got to say the scoreline really does showcase just the amount of pressure from both teams defensive-wise. Both teams back six are working so hard, and it's really showing. So the Eagles take a 6-point lead here as we're winding down into the final seconds of this opening term. As ball's locked in the centre once more, and we'll have a ball up, and that should just about take us through as we hear the quarter-time siren. So scoreboard reads Mitcham 1-1-7, Ferntree Gully 2-1-13. It is the Eagles, the visitors, with a 6-point lead at the moment. Goal kickers so far, single for Riley Holloway and a single for Brianna Carter and Nicola Junginger for the Eagles. We'll have a short break for this quarter-time interval, and then we'll be back with a few more scores around the grounds, and we hopefully get updates across the rest of our divisions here. But for now at Walker Park, it is the Eagles by 6 points at quarter time in your Deakin University women's match of the round.
Welcome back to our Deakin University women's match of the round here out at Walker Park on a brilliant day for footy. Is to the hosts 1-1-7 for Mitcham, currently trailing the visitors in Ferntree Gully 2-1-13 in what is a big game as fifth takes on sixth in defining who's going to be there at the point end of the season, as it is currently the Eagles, as we just heard, with a 6-point margin. But as
Boundary.
we go boundary side to Kate Green.
I'm just here with Mitcham assistant coach Simon Greeley. What a great first quarter. Both teams evenly matched in defence and their forwards and mids. What is the message for the girls going forward, considering that you were right with them into that last few moments?
Yeah, that last one hurt us a little bit, didn't it, that last minute? But no, overall, really big arm wrestle at the moment. So we're happy with that. We don't mind that. We're probably just a touch reactive, so we're going to try and be a bit more proactive. Okay, that's probably the message.
So just settling into your game plan and not just, as you said, being so reactive. But really impressed with both teams so far. So all the very best for the next quarter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Kate. You had a quick chat with Simon Greeley there. I believe she'll be making her way over to the Ferntree Gully dugout shortly. As she does, chance to go around the grounds. No score listed in Premier Division yet for the Basin against Whitehorse, but Vermont yet to score against Eastern Devils 5-30. So the Devils on target today, and we have later starts for Boronia, South Croydon, and of course our 1v2 clash, South Belgrave versus Park Orchards. As we're off to start this second term here, as clearance is won by Ava Knight for the Tigers. There was Frost looking to bring it out, who had an impressive first term. There's a spare going forward for the Tigers, a 2v1 if they can get the footy in their hands. It was picked up, snapped around the corner, shots on its way and in.
Oh, my.
That's a brilliant start for Mitcham and a brilliant goal to do so as well. As we can't quite see who it was just at this stage. We'll get back to you in terms of that.
Boundary, I'm here with Dwayne. Dwayne, I was going to say positive first quarter. Ouch, we're back to being an even draw again now. What's the message moving forward for the girls?
Yeah, no, look, we're really happy with that first quarter. A couple of little things there that lets them get that goal. But, we'll keep working on that. But our pressure's been really good. I think we're holding our space really well. So when we can get it out in the open, being able to create that run and drive and everything else that we've really spoken about. As I said, Mitcham wants to be congested, so we want to use that space. They play this ground really well, so the message doesn't change. We just got to keep the fight up, keep competing, and get it out in the open and just take opportunities when they come.
Both teams are very good at keeping on their opposition player. It's just when both your teams lose that their opposition, that the scoring opportunities have come. Have you said anything to the girls about that?
The turnovers are coming from when both teams aren't clean. So the pressure's there and everyone's manning up really well. And when you get your opportunities when it gets out, if you're not clean with it, right, that's where we're getting caught. And a few times we got out for like 10 metres when we fumbled the footy, right, and it brings the pressure back. So it's just about being clean with the ground ball. And if you can't pick it up, you feel the pressure. We just got to get going forward, get the territory. All right, as I said, we're holding our space pretty well. The opportunities will keep coming for us.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. All the best.
Thank you, no worries.
Thank you for that, Kate. As the last goal, we said we get back to you, that was from Georgia Fairbairn, the skipper of the Tigers, who gets herself into double digits for the season. It's just a temporary stoppage here in the middle of the ground for a Ferntree Gully player who's gone down injured holding her shoulder. So hope, of course, that she's okay, and she's just getting some attention at the moment from the trainers. But scores are tied up here at Walker Park, and while we've got the break, we will get you back across the grounds at the moment. So like we heard, Eastern Devils up big against Vermont, and we had first, second in Premier Division last week as the Devils were second, and they were very inaccurate to start that match, but they're 5-30 to Vermont yet to score. Of course, you have those two games later on. The one to watch out for in that division is South Belgrave against Park Orchards, which will start at 2:30 p.m. today. Across Division 1, the only scores we have listed is for Knox versus Surrey Park, which Surrey Park looking to take a bit of a scalp of the Panthers as they sit in third. They're currently 3-2-20. Leading away from home against Knox 1-1-7 as Knox sit in second. And I believe, looking at our matchday record, that was one of the only games where we had split tipping across that one. So very even there. No scores listed currently in Division 2 as elsewhere in Division 3. Coldstream 3-2-20 back on top against the Eastern Devils 2-1-13. As we're just about to get play restarted in the centre as we will. Boronia 2-12 over Nunawading yet to score in Division 4. As play's back underway here in the centre circle, and we'll be greeted with another stoppage in the centre of the ground. So
Boundary.
you go boundary start to Kate Green.
Injured player taken off for Ferntree Gully is number 3, Maya Forster, and they're just doing a further assessment in the coach's box at this point.
Thanks for that, Kate. It's Maya Forster there. Looks like she had a shoulder injury. We hope, of course, that she's okay. Is looking to burst out with the egg. Was dragged back in a tackle. Couldn't get boot to ball. And terrific bit of defensive work there from Jess Grace, who, like we said, has been leading from the front so far here today. The playing coach is she just hoops the ball forward inside 45 as it's come off hands. Ball will drop to the bottom of the pack. Around it is Brianna Smith wrapped up in a tackle, and we'll have another stoppage. So somewhat cagey affair here, but a tight encounter, which is all we can ask for so far in our Deakin University women's match of the round, as it was soccer forward by Fairbairn. Now with a bit of work to do is Ferntree Gully defence just gets it over the line. So a rush behind puts Mitcham ahead, but it will be Ferntree Gully with possession to bring the ball back into play.
Will be brought back in by Tess McLeod for Ferntree Gully. Mitcham by a point here, 4 minutes and 50 into the second term. Sending it outside 45. Will chase the ball, throws it onto the boot, rolling towards the boundary and goes out of play, and it will be last touch rule. So chance now for Mitcham to send the ball back forward through Jamie Messenger. Big kick inside 45. Can't quite grab the mark. Ball comes to ground. Wrapped up in there was Smith for Ferntree Gully, and we'll have a stoppage in Mitcham's forward 45. Ball off hands. Rolling now. Able to kick it up towards the wing, and back there again for Mitcham. They send it forward now through Jamie Messenger again. Chance now as the ball rolls towards goal, but only for a minor score. So
Boundary.
Boundary side to Kate Green.
With that goal that Mitcham got in the first, 30 seconds of this quarter, it's really given them momentum this quarter. They've actually taken it off, that momentum off Ferntree Gully quite effectively, because it's, I'm just seeing a more focused Mitcham at the moment, and Ferntree Gully just seems to be a little bit frazzled.
Taken without the footy there, Georgia Faraban for Mitcham, so a chance for them now to increase their lead over Ferntree Gully. Kick looks all right, it's there. Mitcham increase their lead, and a great goal there from Faraban. And now it's Mitcham 3-3-21, Ferntree Gully 2-1-13 with 7 minutes and 16 gone in the first term.
Mitcham, Ferntree Gully can't afford Mitcham goals like that, because the more momentum Mitcham gets, particularly on their home ground, the more they're going to run over the top of Ferntree Gully. Ferntree Gully really does need to respond ASAP.
Awesome stuff from Kate Green down there on the boundary as Mitcham look to send this back forward. Kick rolling towards the forward 45. Picked up by Fletcher. She's taken a tackle, holding the ball cold. So free kick in the direction of Sharma for Ferntree Gully, who sends up to centre wing. Taking a tackle, able to get the handball out. Running around there was Uringer. And now with the footy, it's Lucy Griffiths sending it up towards the wing, and a good contested mark taken there by Brianna Carter. It's Ferntree Gully look to bounce back after that goal. Able to handball it out. Able to Messenger. And a big tackle laid there. Ball back to ground, locked in. We'll have a ball up. Not far from Ferntree Gully's 45. As the ball comes back under play here, Carter able to get the handball out. Taking a good tackle. And will be a free kick in the direction of Ferntree Gully. So Kirk going to send it forward here. Handballs it off. And a bit of a wayward kick there from Jess Campbell.
Boundary.
To get bench side of Kate Green.
Just quickly, stats. Tackles favouring Ferntree Gully 5-4. Clearances 2-3 Mitcham's way. Inside 30s favouring Mitcham at 4. Turnovers, they're equal at 1 apiece. Free kicks, they're equal to 2 apiece. Marks, 1 apiece. And yeah, that's stats at the moment. Thanks very much, Ferntree Gully.
Thank you for that, Kate. Boundary side interview stat, she does it all. As we're back underway here, is looking to clear the ball as Uminja as it goes forward. Maybe a push in the back there. Umpire says nothing doing. It's play on for the time being. Jess Grace had hands to the footy. Tackled as she went to get a handball off, so the ball didn't go anywhere. Is now dropping to the footy. Uminja again. Looking to go forward now. Brianna Carter sends a ball. It might get out the back. Could be dangerous if it does, but it's off hands. Now in pursuit, going back towards their own goal and getting the ball out for a ball out just inside the boundary line at the moment. Not far at all from Ferntree Gully's upright, so they find themselves down 8 points. Mitcham have done well so far, and they'll do well again to clear these balls. They just look to take territory. Standing under it was a few players. Fox is in pursuit for the Eagles. Laser tackle still just inside the boundary line as the footy will find its way out now. That's a push in the back free kick. It will be going the way of Mitcham, so chance to repel here for the Tigers, who are doing well. You feel like if Ferntree Gully want to get back into this game, they need to get back to a bit of that stoppage dominance that they had in the first term, as Brianna Carter uses her body brilliantly and takes the intercept mark there and has a chance to go back inside 45. You can see why she was a club best and fairest winner last year, but maybe a bit of a caller's curse as she turns the ball over to playing captain Jess Grace, who's been brilliant so far, and gets it out to the far side. And now a lot of space to burn here for Jamie Messenger. She can take a bounce, go forward. Ball's looking to get out the back. Defensive work done by Neve Zulian, and she's looking to bring it out, but body's dropped around the footy and we'll have a ball up.
Boundary.
Go for it, Kate.
So far, best on ground. It's got to be Brianna Carter for Ferntree Gully and our playing captain, coach, Jess Grace. So we need to start thinking about that other thing we've got to do, guys.
100% agree with you there, Kate. They're definitely the two front runners at this moment. As looking to bring the ball out was Ungni Jury. Just goes forward. The footy's going to hit the deck. Chance now. A lot of work to do for the Tigers defender as it's a 2v1 now as the cavalry arrive for Ferntree Gully. She's still up. Did brilliantly. Bronte Coxill, who just stood up in the 3v1 and got the ball clear, but a well-taken intercept mark there for the Eagles. So Ferntree Gully able to repel here as the ball's in Brianna Smith's hands. They just need to work on getting some better entries into the inside 45, or their forward 45, I should say, as bodies are dropping around the footy. Spare behind it for the Tigers will take the intercept mark. So just territory not coming easily at all here for either side, as the ball is just locked in between the arcs here at Walker Park, as Grace got hands to the footy, but it came out through Frost, who's also been very good putting her name forward for the Eastland voucher at the end of the day for best honours. Looking to bring it out and sending it forward into the forward 45 as the footy hits the ground. No real winner of the ball yet, as we'll have a ball up, as we've played 13 gone in this second term. Mitcham 3-3-21, leading Ferntree Gully 2-1-13. So the Eagles looking for their first away win, looking for their first consecutive wins of the season, as Mitcham looking to close the gap between them and the top 4, or the top 5, I should say, at the moment. As we'll have another ball up as Jessica Campbell wraps up her marker in a tackle. And the rucks will go at it once more. Carter's around the footy, couldn't quite get a handball out. It's socket off the ground. We'll have another tackle well wrapped up. So 25 out from the uprights here at the old scoreboard end. Is looking to get a forward, winning the tap again with the Tigers as they look to bring it out. Hands to the footy was Tess McLeod, but she's wrapped up in the tackle. So a cagey affair. No one really willing to give up an inch yet, as it's Grace winning in the ruck again, as she's done so well so far today. She's looking to clear their lines of Ferntree Gully. It's in the hands of a Mitcham player who's wrapped up with 3.
So, chance now. As ball comes back down to ground, Ferntree Gully trying to clear this one through the middle of the ground. And the run arrives in a pack form, so ball wrapped up again. The umpire will put it back into play here. Getting the tap was Brigginshaw.
It's a quick score from Division 1. It's Knox getting back on top of Surrey Park 4-1-25, plays 3-2-20.
And kicking this straight into the middle of the ground with a massive bomb. And now to get it out wide to Leopold, who sends it inside for Ferntree Gully. Chance locked in the pocket. And juggling the footy now, and Mitcham try and clear this one. Big high kick, didn't get much journey on it. And there's about 5 Mitcham players around the footy, and there was about 1 Ferntree Gully player around the ball. And now Mitcham able to clear it, or do they? Chucks on the boot, touched. That would have been something. A smother off the mark, then threw it on the boot, but touched in the end, so minus score.
We finally have a score update in Premier Division for the Basin against White Horse. That's 1-0 down at Batterham Reserve, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but a very low scoring game.
It's Carter, takes the interception, sends it towards the pocket. Dropping the mark there was Leopold. And 2-on-2, and we'll have a ball up in the forward pocket here. Not far out from goal for Ferntree Gully. Bamford wrapped up. So, opportunity for Ferntree Gully here to bounce back if they can use this inside 50 to convert. Ball locked in once again. And the tap now comes to ground, trying to escape, got the handball off, threw it on the boot, did Leopold. Chance now running through to the top of the square, and taking the mark was Caitlin Welsh.
That was brilliant work by Dana Parley, number 22 for Ferntree Gully, to get it back in their square.
And off to the right-hand side there. So a minus score for Ferntree Gully, as Mitcham bring this footy back in. 3 minutes left in the second quarter here at Walker Park, as this is sent outside the 45, breaking through the tackle and holding the ball, says the umpire. So free kick in the direction of Mitcham in front of the scoreboard.
Ungaja, number 9 for Ferntree Gully, has been really great this this round, as has Messenger for Mitcham.
Wrapped up outside Ferntree Gully's 45. 2 minutes to play in the second term. Can Ferntree Gully get one back before half time? Couldn't escape that tackle, Grace, so we'll have another stoppage right outside the 45. Minute 30 left on the clock. We've got a whistle, I believe, for holding. And it will go the way of Ferntree Gully. Danapala sends it inside. Pack forms, looking to get a mark. Ball came off hands. Handball out. Chucks it on the boot. Iwinja rolling. Looks good. That is something special. And Ferntree Gully do get one back before half-time. It's Mitcham 3-3-21 to Ferntree Gully 3-3-21. We are all wrapped up with just under a minute to play.
Like I said, Ferntree Gully really, really needed that. And if either team scores a major in the next, 30 seconds, it's really going to set the tone going into half-time.
So Mitcham conceding late. That one will hurt them just like it did in the end of the first term. As we're wrapped up here in the centre squares. We've got just under 20 seconds to play. Take probably a mighty torpedo at this stage to get another score in this quarter. Scoreboard, we're all tied up at 3-3-21 each here in what is turning out to be a cagey Deakin University women's match of the round, but a tightly fought one at that. So Brianna Carter will play on at boot to ballers. There's the siren. So like you just heard, Mitcham 3-3-21 hosting Ferntree Gully 3-3-21. We are all tied up here at Walker Park at halftime. Goal kickers so far for Mitcham, it's 2 to Georgia Fairbairn in that second term and a single to Riley Holloway, whereas on the other side of things, Ferntree Gully 2 to Nicola Ungija and the single to Brianna Carter. Is we'll have a break, but just before we do that, going around the grounds in Division 3, Coldstream are now up against Eastern Devils 6-5, 41 to 2-1, 13. And looking across the other divisions, just before we let you go, the Payson's still up. I may as well say 1-0 at this stage because it's almost a soccer score as they host Whitehorse Pioneers. And Vermont 1-1-7 trailing to the Eastern Devils 5-1-31. Going across to Division 1, the only game we have scores for is Knox versus Surrey Parkers. That's a back and forth encounter. Knox have kicked 3 straight, I should say, to take the lead, but Surrey Park back on top as 4-1-25 plays 4-3-27. No scores listed yet for Division 2. We heard from Division 3 earlier, and as we go into Division 4, it's Baronia 2-12 to none, wanting yet to score. And then, of course, in our final division, Division 5, we have Norwood 0-3-3 down to Heathmont 3-1-19. So we'll have a quick break here at Walker Park, and we will be back. And when we come back for our second half action, we will have Kate Green talking to both coaches, as we heard from before. We'll have some more scores for you, hopefully, and we'll have a lot more coverage here in our Deakin University women's match of the round. Welcome back to our Deakin University Women's Match of the Round here out at Walker Park on a very nice Saturday. The sun's out. Scoreboard reads Mitcham 3-3-21, currently drawn with Ferntree Gully 3-3-21, but the Tigers looking to close the gap between them and the top half of the table. Ferntree Gully looking to get their first away win and their first back-to-back wins after beating South Croydon last week. As go through our goal kick as quickly as we heard before the break.
Boundary.
Georgia Fairbairn. We'll go to Kate Grant on the boundary, who's got a coach with her.
Sorry about that, Chris.
That's all right.
Just have Simon with me again. Simon, you owned that quarter. What happened?
Oh, well, they listened to instructions and they're a bit more proactive that quarter instead of being reactive. We did let them get that goal late, which is hopefully not going to cost us. So they did it in the first and the second. So we were going to lock down for 20 minutes. That's been a big message at half time. Got to play 20 minutes of good hard footy.
You were very good in that first quarter, really across the board, clearances, tackles, inside 45s. It was a really good quarter for you guys.
Yeah, I think both teams are really fair dinkum today, aren't they? They're really having a crack at the footy. So, yeah, it's going to be a big arm wrestle in the second half, and hopefully we can come out on top.
Well, on behalf of the media team, we're really enjoying this. Having you tied at first quarter and now at half-time was really great. All the best.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for that, Kate. As we're back on the way in this second term of our women's match of the round here, it is straight away one out of the centre. It looks to be no real winner of the footy just yet, but there's going to be a free kick going Mitcham's way. So they kicked an early goal in the second term, and they have a chance to do so again here through Danielle Fletcher. Will be lining up. The kick will come from about 40 metres out. She's on a slight angle, maybe 30-degree angle from centre line as she trots in and gets on the right boot. Kit looks good. It might drop short. It does. It's off hands at the goal line. Bit of a scramble. Footy's at the feet of a few players. Fairbairn around the footy. And a lot of ball up just at the top of the goal square. We finally have another update for the Premier Division match out at Batterham Reserve. It's the Basin 12 trailing to the White Horse Pioneers 23 as the ruck tap was won by Mitcham, and Shona goal from Fairbairn's been pulled wide. So Mitcham take the lead with a minor score. Tackled as she went to kick there as
Boundary.
Boundary starts Kate Green.
I'm just with Dwayne, Ferntree Gully's coach. I waited a few moments because I didn't want to jinx him. Dwayne, got a little off-key at the start of that quarter, but you brought it back by the end. What was the message for the girls at half-time?
Like the big, I hit the nail on the head there. Our first 7-10 minutes, we switched right off, and Mitcham, were really able to take control of the game there. And that was the biggest part of our messaging is, in this competition, you can't switch off. Anyone can beat anybody, and we had a great first quarter and then allowed ourselves to just think a little bit the job was done. And I was really proud of how we responded in that second half of that quarter to even the score up. Probably favoured us a little bit there. So now it's just about getting our hands first to the footy again and just getting that runner back, not getting so sucked into the contest a little bit. And it's just one. It's being willing to compete for the whole 20 minutes.
And sticking to your game plan and wanting the ball.
Oh, 100%. Like as I said, Mitcham's they're a good side. They play this ground well, and they created that pressure and probably a little bit of panic where we lost our structures a little bit. So yeah, that was just come back to that. Play what we've been working on. What's been getting us competitive and winning games, and hopefully some injuries can stop happening because both teams seem to be getting a couple of them. And sort of turn it around a little bit in this quarter. So,
thanks very much, Dwayne. All the best.
Thank you.
We've got a temporary stoppage in here just to check on Mitcham's Jamie Messenger, who's had a decent game so far, but she's okay. She's staying out there, which is very good to see. So we're back in the centre of Walker Park here as no team really able to win the footy. Looking to get it forward was Riley Holloway. He does so, but only into the hands of Smith. Brown to Smith for Ferntree Gully. He looks inside to the corridor. Finds a teammate in Bridget Ellinger. So she can go forward now as the Eagles look to get an entry inside forward 45. It's shallow, but it's in there as Coxwell had hands to the footy. Couldn't quite clunk the mark as ball's dropped down. We'll have another stoppage. So
Boundary.
Go bench starts Kate Green.
Just a quick update. Number 3, Forrester, for Ferntree Gully is back on the field, shoulder strapped and good to go.
That's very good to hear as Maya Force is back out there. Looked like she'd hurt her shoulder quite badly, but she's back out there, which is excellent for her, excellent for her team. As just inching closer and closer to Ferntree Gully's uprights at the moment. As we'll have another ball up. Grace wins the ruck work. She's been excellent today in the ruck and around the ground as looking to get to the footy first was Dana Parla, who dropped it. Now Mitcham looking to capitalise on that situation as it's Brianna Smith that's getting hands to the ball. She was in pursuit. She's wrapped up straight away in a tackle on the far side, true centre wingers. Just about 4 minutes gone in this third term, and it's Mitcham by a point.
So on this far wing now, picking up the ball was Dana Parla. This one rolls wide and goes out of play, so it will be last touch rule. So Mitcham to send it back in. High ball here at Walker Park towards the wing, pushed out of the way. Now ball comes to ground, big tackle laid, trying to grab possession. Gets out to Coxhill, and in the end we'll have a ball up. Running away with it now. It was Pontefract. Now contest forms around the ball, so stoppage once again in the middle of the ground. Good tackle there from Gray. Right outside Mitcham's 45 as it comes back inbound now. And we've got a whistle. I think it's going to go the way of Mitcham.
It's very head high.
So high contact, and the free will go to Riley Holloway.
She's having a good game.
She's played very well. She lines up. Be a fair way out. To increase the score for Mitcham, and good stuff on the mark there as the ball is smothered and comes inside 45, and we'll have a ball up just in front of goals for Mitcham. Big opportunity for them to increase the lead. They lead by 1 at the minute. Ball rolling, tucked next to the goals. Ball stays in play, wrapped up now, and ball up once again from the umpire directly in front of goals for Mitcham. 6 minutes gone. Pack forms around it, trying to get the ball out now. I believe Smith in there was able to get a kick away, sent back inside now towards goal and offline to the left, so a minus score for the Mitcham Tigers. 3-5-23 to Ferntree Gully 3-3-21. Brought back into play. Tried to find Carter. And ball will be wrapped up again inside 45.
So now Paul will call for it again. Into Tigers by 2 at the moment. It's 2 minus scores for the Termers. They're looking to add to that now as no one really able to take clean possession of it. Brianna Carter does so though. Clears her lines for now. Her target was number 16 in Bridget Ellinger. Couldn't quite get it there as now Mitcham looking to burst that. Shrugs off a tackle. Gets it on the right boot. Kick is goalward. And that is a fantastic major. Probably a goal of the day so far today, as it was absolutely stunning work by, I believe, Lucy Griffiths, who we have down here as new to footy, and certainly doesn't look that way with the way she was able to burst out of the pack and just shrug off a tackle and keep going and send it on the right boot and get it right home. So an excellent bit of work there from
Boundary.
typically a defender as we go down to Kate Grant on the boundary.
I have to say, I'm being really impressed with both teams' new players, particularly when it's, you get told that they're new to footy and they're doing things like that. That's impressive.
Well, 8 games played, in the best twice, and that's probably up there with one of the best goals I've seen in our Deakin University Women's Match of the Round games. Is we're back underway here, so it's the Tigers by 8.
And accurate for such a new person to footy with only 8 games under their belt.
Exactly right. As 4-5-29 plays 3-3-21 at this stage. It's like we said pre-game, the magic number for Mitcham is 35 points. If they can keep their opponents below 35, they're 2-1. And of course that one loss only coming to undefeated Heathmont, who sit atop of the table. So their opponents, the Eagles, at 21 at the moment, so it's going to be close, but Mitcham playing well. So far today, though, hasn't been about how they start their quarters. It's been about how they end them. So we'll keep an eye on that. As a quick handball out from Bridget Ellinger, who's starting to have more of an impact on this game, but now the Tigers looking to repel. And it was off the hands of Pontefract, who couldn't quite take it cleanly. Looking to bring it out now with Ferntree Gully as they just hoof the ball forward. It's going to be a shallow entry inside forward 45 as Mitcham defenders playing in front and get rewarded with the mark. So well taken intercept mark there from the Tigers. They just look to go up the line and they find a teammate in the goal scorer, Griffiths.
Boundary.
To go bench side to Kate Green.
Just going to say, Mitcham might have it during the quarter, but Ferntree Gully so far with their ability just to get in there and take it back to being tied scores towards the end of the game. I think that's going to become a crucial point as we go into the rest of this quarter and the final quarter.
Exactly right. As Mitcham had the free kick, it's come off hands though, so anyone's footy at the moment is looking to pick it up. Was Holloway, couldn't quite do so. Well, picked it up, it was wrapped up in a tackle, so couldn't do anything of influences. The ball up just outside the forward 45 arc as Carter's there again, just gets the ball out, clears her lines. There's Griffiths around the footy, steps past one. She's really playing with a bit of confidence at the moment. Is Lucy Griffiths as Carter's around the footy again, trying to wrap up her teammate. It's in the hands of Mitcham's Holloway now with the footy. And wrapped up again. So the umpire will call for the ball up once more. As it's going to be Ferntree Gully looking to clear their lines, and Griffiths is around the footy again, wheeling away, and on the right boot, this kick isn't as good as the goal, but still pushed wide, forces the Eagles defenders to get something done, and they'll do so for now as it's off the hands of Ung Injurin. They look to go forward now. Spear around the footy is Jessica Campbell. Will it set up for her? It did. Handball just missed the target. Was just too much power on it, and she'll get the footy back now. Just kicked forward. It grabbed it on the ground. She was hit. She kicked, taps it forward to her teammate in Leopold brilliantly. Leopold now with a bit to do. Throws on the right boot around the corner. It's a 2v2 there around the footies. Evelyn Bamford for Ferntree Gully, who was the target. And it's found its way out of bounds. So the umpire will call for a ball up. Chance for Ferntree Gully to get their first score of this third term as we're 11.5 minutes in. Mitcham have done well so far. And they'll do well to force another stoppage. Play on's the call for now, but then the umpire will call for it as Ellinger applies the tackle. So Mitcham will be looking to stand up here as they win the tap through Jess Grace in the ruck, who's done brilliantly as I look to bring it out. I believe it actually might have been Jory Wright in the ruck that time, but nevertheless, play continues. A shallow entry inside forward 45 will hit the deck. No one really willing to take possession of it. Now Pontefract does, wrapped up in the tackle by Carter. We'll have another ball up.
Ferntree Gully really need to get a score on this board this quarter, just to stay in touch and to settle them, because again they're playing like they're frazzled.
That's exactly right. As we'll have another ball up. We haven't got a score update in Division 1 for a while, but the most interesting game around the grounds at the moment is Knox versus Surrey Park, second versus third, and it's the Panthers who retook the lead, 4-1-25, placed 4-3-27, so the visitors back on top there. That's going to be a very, very interesting game, and one of the only games that was split in the tipping this week as it was off hands. Campbell elected to just punch it. It's now in pursuit of Zunginja. No one really willing to take possession of the footy. There's a Mitcham player down holding her head. For now, she looks to be okay, which is a good sign. It was Charlie Bandera, who it's first game for Mitcham on debut. She comes across from the Northern Football Netball League. We have a ball up just outside the forward 45 arc here. As winning the tap was Ferntree Gully, but wrapped up against a cagey affair as we're 13.5 gone. It's the Tigers by 8 on their home turf.
Ferntree Gully, as Kate said before, they are in desperate need of a goal. They don't want to let this lead get out of hand. As Mitcham lead at the minute by 8 points. Ball rolling inside 45. Trying to clear it close to the boundary line. And I believe it's gone out of play. So we'll have a ball up. Chance for Ferntree Gully to score. Can't get the footy out, so another stoppage. Inside 45, rolling the boundary. And we'll go out of play again. 14 minutes and 22 gone in the third term. Mitcham 4-5-29 to Ferntree Gully 3-3-21. So Mitcham able to clear this now. Goes outside. Defensive 45 wrapped up now. In a tackle from Ullinger. Back down the ground after that stoppage, close to the boundary line. Tackle laid, wrapped up, so.
Got a quick score from elsewhere in Division 3. It was the EFNL was looking to cause an upset early, but they haven't scored since quarter time. In second place, Coldstream are now up 8-7, 55 to 2-1, 13.
Able to get the tap was Grace, who's been doing it all in the ruck today. Sent back inside by Carter in the direction of Danapala. Big opportunity for Ferntree Gully here. Had an option on her right, decides to play on, runs to 45, goes inside, and ball off hands and wrapped up. So ball locked inside the 45 for Ferntree Gully as they look to try and get a goal here. Danapala wrapped up, got the ball out.
Gee, could he Ferntree Gully head coach Train Stengel in there through effects, Mike, barking orders.
I don't think he needs Mike, guys. He never does.
Ball spills out to Danapala. Sets it up perfectly for Allinger.
Well, gee, whatever he said must have worked.
Danapala, number 22 for Ferntree Gully. She's really stepped up a game.
Kick falls away to the left for Allinger for a minor score. Be brought back into play by Jamie Messenger. Looks short. Wasn't the best of kicks, but may work anyways. Able to get the tap to advantage. And now wrapped up in a tackle from Leopold. So we'll have a ball up inside 45 once again. Ferntree Gully. And they try and lock this in. They need to try and get a goal here. 3 minutes left on the clock in the third term.
This is where Mitcham really need to focus. They conceded 2 late goals in each of the, or a late goal in each of the quarters so far, and they've kept Ferntree Gully to just a point so far this term. So,
and Ferntree Gully are looking to lock it in, or they have locked it in for the past few minutes. It hasn't really gone into Mitcham's forward 50 or 45 rather for a while, as this bowl's wrapped up again just outside the 45 on the outer side of the ground. Getting through the tackle, able to get the kick away. Handball went the wrong way. And Mitcham able to get possession. The kick comes to the centre of the ground. Ferntree Gully able to get it back inside now in the direction of Campbell. Came off hands. Big tackle laid. Holding the ball, says the umpire. So
Boundary
side with Kate Green.
Ferntree Gully really needed that tackle to work and to get that ball to stay in their forward 45.
Allinger lines up again. Stays to the right of the goals. So another minor score for Ferntree Gully.
Really have a bit of a disparity here in the scoreboards. I think the correct one is the old scoreboard to left of screen here.
And no, actually, it's the right-hand side one, the new one. That's the correct score, correct time.
Okay, so we've got
the
correct score on one and correct time on the other.
Oh, hey guys, let's just do an average between the two of them and see where we land.
Chris can call the scores, I'll call the time, as we've got a minute left to play here in the third term. This ball on the outer wing. It's Ferntree Gully looking to send it back. Inside 45 wrapped up. Again, Mitcham's tackling pressure has been fairly decent here. Able to spill the ball out. Very congested. Once again, wrapped up with 20 seconds left.
Just an update from Division 1 Knox 5-1-31, trailing to Surrey Park 5-4-34.
So high contact will go the way of Mitcham. Only 10 seconds left though. I don't think there'll be enough time for them to do much with the footy. Sends it up towards centre wing on that outer side as the siren goes for three-quarter time. It is Mitcham 4-6-29 to Ferntree Gully 3-5-23. Mitcham leading at home at three-quarter time.
So the Eagles held to just two behinds there as Mitcham open up a 6-point margin. As we just heard, 4-5-29 plays 3-5-23. Our goal kickers so far today for Mitcham, it is the 2-2 Georgia Fairbairn, and then singles to Riley Holloway and Lucy Griffiths. And for Ferntree Gully, we have a 2 for Nicola Unginja, and singles to Brianna Carter, and a single. No, that's it for Ferntree Gully. So 6-point margin here as we approach our final break here for three-quarter time. As we come back, we'll hear from Kate Green, who will have the coaches for a quick chat, and we'll get into our final term in what has been a brilliant matchup so far for your Deakin University women's match of the round. It's the Tigers by 6 points.
Welcome back to Walker Park. It's Mitcham. 4-6-29 to Ferntree Gully. 3-5-23. Close game on hands. And it was Ferntree Gully, the back half of that last quarter, able to keep it locked inside their forward 45.
Just quickly as we're waiting for Kate Green to grab a coach for a quick chat. It's in Premier Division, the Basin 4-2-26 behind narrowly to Whitehorse 4-5-29. The Basin, that would be their first win of the season. The Eastern Devils up 53-16.
Boundary.
Over Vermont as you go boundary side to Kate Green.
Just with Mitcham, Simon Greeley, what a great quarter for the girls. Massive boost to your confidence with that score, 29-23.
Yeah, no, being a goal up was really great, but again, the game's not over. We need 20 more minutes. I think we did talk about 20-minute quarter that quarter, and we were fantastic, hard and tough with the footy. We need to continue that now. Ferntree Gully are not going to lie down, so expect a really tough last quarter.
Just quickly, we were quite impressed with number 34 for you, Lucy Griffiths, being new to footy, 8 games, and she grabs a goal and she kicked it like she was a professional.
No, she's fantastic. She's a really great trainer. She wants to learn. She wants to get better. She really attacks the footy. One day she's going to take a screamer. We're looking forward to that. She really jumps at the footy, but that goal was amazing. It was fantastic. So we need another one to be nice. Another 2 would be nice.
Thanks very much, Simon. All the best, and congratulations so far with your season. I know it's a season of up and downs for lots of teams, but the fact that every week you're showing up and you're doing well, congratulations.
We're very competitive. We're having a crack, and that's all we can ask of the girls.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. There, as you heard from assistant coach Simon Greeley for the final time today. During the matches elsewhere in Division 1, I think someone may have accidentally pressed final scorer down at Quamby Reserve, because in the Ringwood Derby, North Ringwood 8-8-56 lead East Ringwood 2-1-13, as that's been put in as a final score, whatever may have happened there. But in our game to watch that's not this one here, knocks it back on top, 6-1-37 to Surrey Park, 5-4-34, as we have another stoppage in the centre here, which gives me a chance to cross to Division 3. It's now Coldstream commandingly over the Eastern Devils, 11-9, 75-2-1-13.
Boundary.
So you're boundary side to Kate Green.
Just here with Ferntree Gully's Dwayne. A mixed bag that third quarter for you.
Yeah, it's look, the pressure's really on. You know, I think this quarter's going to be who can be just cleaner around the contest a little bit more. We've just missed targets here and there, or fumbled at really key moments, and Mitcham's been able to capitalise a little bit. You know, and just our structures, we're just getting too sucked in. You know, we're forgetting it's a smaller ground and it's going over our heads and putting ourselves under pressure. So we just got to get that better. If we can get that better in this quarter, we can get the result we want.
Just want to say congratulations. I know this season has been ups and downs, but you've always been competitive, the girls. So, you know, congratulations on, you know, having a competitive team out there giving their all their best every week.
No, thank you. No, look, I said it in the post I put on Facebook. I've got the best group of girls in the EFNL. It might be biased for me to say, but look, they work hard every game and every week, and we've loved the challenge of being up here. You know, but if we want to play finals, these are the moments where we've got to stand up now and get ourselves 4 points.
All the best going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Kate. As we heard from head coach of the Ferntree Gully team, Dwayne Stangelen, there as ball finds its way out here. And it will be last touches. Ferntree Gully will bring it back in as surprising result so far in Division 5, our new league, our new division, I should say. Norwood are staring down the barrel of their first loss 7 weeks into the season. It's yet to score a goal. 5 behinds, 5 place Heathmont, who was second, 4-2-26. So
that is a shocker.
that could be
Big
quite
upset.
the upset, as we all in our tipping went for the undefeated Norwood, of course. But nevertheless, turning our attention back here to Walker Park, and what's been a brilliant game so far and continues to be. It's 4-5-29 plays 3-5-23 as our scoreboards are now synced up for score, thank goodness. As there's a tackle, holding the ball, paid just on the 45-metre arc. So well done by Brianna Smith there to wrap her opponent up in a tackle and be rewarded with a free kick. Well, the kick was somewhat scuffed, but found the hands of her teammate in Riley Gray, who Just looks to take territory down the line, and standing under it was Lucy Griffiths, who new to footy has had quite an impressive second half so far here today. Has really stepped up and send a drop punt just as far as she can, looking to take territory again. Around it was Holloway, elected not to go for a brilliant tackle though from Ferntree Gully, who have really ramped up the pressure.
Boundary.
As we go boundary side to Kate Green.
Ferntree Gully need to use this. If they don't, and it gets back into Mitcham, the Mitcham are going to make them hurt.
As Griffiths flies with the one hand there for the spoil, and it will go straight out of bounds. So the umpire will call for a ball up. It's like we heard multiple points throughout this broadcast, the magic number for the Tigers is 35 points. Ferntree Gully currently set at 23. If they can keep the Eagles below 35, then they're hold themselves in much better stead to grab a win here, as Grace did the tap work in the ruck, as we'll have yet another stoppage. So hasn't been an overly free-flowing game, but it's been two teams who are right up for the contest, which makes for great viewing. Is not only great viewing for us, but also for Davis Harrigan, who I spotted on the boundary line there, the catfish I believe they call him. He's at just about every single EFNL game you could think of. Sometimes it feels like he's at two at once with the amount of work he does, getting an endless amount of photos for us. And if you're interested in finding them, he puts up some brilliant photos on his Instagram. It's at Davis Harrigan Photos, I believe, and sure he'll have ones up of this game. And I've been told he's going down to the Ferntree Gully derby after this, as Upper Ferntree Gully take on Ferntree Gully in what will be a good contest. So we'll have another ball up. True centre wing on the far side here at Walker Park. We're stalemated at the moment at 4-5-29, place 3-5-23. 5.5 minutes into this final term.
Boundary.
Boundary side with Kate Green.
Oscar, I'm kind of thinking, you were as impressed with both teams' back six as what I am, because they're both teams highly evenly matched.
Yeah, really matched in defence, I think. That's a great call, Kate, and a good watch from you down there. Yeah, they both back sixes for both sides have been really, really even, and they've both done really well throughout this game. As we have a ball up on centre wing on the far side. Rolling, jumping on the footy there, trying to get the ball out, but it's wrapped up again. 6 minutes gone, 4-5-29 Mitcham, 3-5-23 Ferntree Gully in this fourth term. Tackle laid there by Leopold. And a whistle there from the umpire. Will go the way of Mitcham. Kate, did you say what that was for?
I will follow that up for you right now.
So, nevertheless, it will be a free kick the way of Mitcham. So, goes to centre wing. Trying to break through. The tackle was Grace. Socket off the deck. How to get the handball out. Ball in congestion again. Trying to get a hand on it. Mitcham able to escape. Knight. And then around the footy. And wrapped up. So it'll be a stoppage once again on the far wing. This ball comes back down to ground. Able to get the kick off. Mitcham trying to send it forward. Doing well there. To get it forward was Griffiths.
Boundary.
Boundary side, Kate Green.
The yellow card for number 15 for Ferntree Gully, Leopold, was for a sling tackle.
So there you go. That was the free kick that on that outer side before. As chance here for Mitcham and push through for a minor score. Good stuff in defence there.
It's a big point though. It takes it out to a two-kick game.
So good stuff from McLeod, who will now bring it back in. goes long. Outside the defensive 45, wrapped up in a tackle there. And a free kick, actually, the way of Mitcham. So they'll send it inside to the pocket. Trying to grab possession. Able to get the ball out. Big kick here. And looks like might be an injury there for Mitcham as well in the meantime. Ball sent back forward and intercepted. So Ferntree Gully's back line working hard again as this is sent through to the outer side. Carter through the middle of the ground, rolling forward now. Maybe a chance for Ferntree Gully if the ball can come at the back. There's 3 Mitcham players and there's only 1 Ferntree Gully player in Campbell who was wrapped up, so we'll have a ball up.
Okay, if we can you keep an eye on Kira Danapalo? I believe she came off just before holding her nose. Might be a bit of a blood nose there, but just keep an eye if she comes back on. She's been very good so far.
She has. I had her in my pick of the best on ground.
So ball on this outer side now. Able to get the kick away. Picking it up was Lovelock. Able to push the ball out. And we'll have another ball up.
Boundary.
From the umpire, Kate Green.
Number 22, Kira Danapala, is just about to re-enter the game.
All right, so she came off and she's
Back on again.
going to come back on again. So good to see. Must just be a blood nose, perhaps, as Chris said. As the ball comes back down, getting it forward was Holloway. And Ferntree Gully able to send this back out again after that mark. Great mark from Grace there. She's been doing good ruck work today and able to use her height to take that mark as she sends it back forward for Mitcham. 11 minutes gone. 4:6:30 to 3:5:23. Ferntree Gully trailing here by 7 in this 4th term. Wrapped up outside 45.
Boundary.
Kate Green.
I just want to say with both teams, they've got to look for their loose players. When they target their loose players, that's when they're getting the goals and getting possession down into their attacking forward. At the moment, they just seem to be both targeting the pack and it's not really getting them anywhere.
Great stuff there from Kate Green as Winjar threw a kick on the boot, but it's intercepted and picked off, and Mitcham now looking to go back inside. Forward 45 with an entry. And a good mark there from Katrina Curry. This would have to be a huge kick. She's got a good run up. Faraban rather. So, long way out. Just stays too far to the right there, the kick from Georgia Faraban. So another minor score for Ferntree Gully as they bring this back into play.
So it's back to an 8-point deficit here. 2 kicks to the margin. It's looking to clear their lines of the Eagles. Taking on a tackler or 2 was Lovelock. Now the ball find its way to turf inside the forward 45. Smith's in pursuit for the Eagles. Gets boot to ball. Was hit while she kicked though. Now after it is Maya Forster. She's got a 2v1. Got lots of work to do to make a contest out of it. And does terrifically at that. Delays as much as she can until Junginger can get there to support. And we'll have a ball up. Elsewhere across the grounds in Division 1. Talk about accurate kicking. It's a Knox 7-2-44 now with a 2-kick lead over Surrey Park 5-4-34. As in that game, it is a 3-goal haul so far to Hayley Gasparoni. As there's a tackle there, and it's a holding free kick going the way of Mitcham. So the Tigers have had their chances here. They need to capitalise on them. They're up by 8. A goal would make this a 3-kick game, and dare I say, seal it at the moment. Sliding on her knees to try and take the mark was Fairbairn. Couldn't quite take it. Around it was Brianna Carter. She's been a bit quieter of late, but has still been very good. Wins the Ball here and just clears it into space. In pursuit of her is Dunapala. Footy will sit up nicely for her. She's got a player out the back. She can get it to her in number 27 in Evelyn Bamford. Ball just won't bounce her way. Skips past a couple around it is Griffiths. Now in pursuit of the footy is Jamie Messenger for the Tigers. Tackled. It's a 3v2. It could be anyone's footy. Dunapala's out the side, but it's picked up by Bamford. He just sends it forward. Ball bounces at right angles. And it's bounced through.
It's that Sharon. It's that Sharon. It's got a mind of its own.
That's got to be the goal of the day. Oh, my God.
Evelyn Bamford with what was originally a centering kick to the top of the goal square. Then the ball, just like we heard, on mind of its own, just bounced at right angles and dribbled the whole way through. So
got more purchase than Shane Warne on that one.
a bit of a wrong, and that was amazing.
Bamford, her first game for Ferntree Gully. She's come over from Wanty South.
Oh, wow. On debut, what a goal. And just like that, a 2-point game. We said that the Tigers needed to take their chances. Can't really blame them for conceding a goal that outrageous, but just like that, it's back to 2 points, and it's anyone's game again as around the footies of Nisha Sharma. Ball's hit the deck. There's a free kick going towards Mitcham, though. So they'll have another chance here, another chance to get on the scoreboard, another chance to kick a major, as that's Ferntree Gully's first since half-time.
And we've got 4 minutes 50 left of this game.
So Bandera will send it forward. It's at the back. Grace on the right boot. That's a captain's contribution. That's the coach's contribution. And she kicks a goal there. Just a steadying goal. God, the sigh of relief coming from the dugout of Mitcham, you could probably hear from up here. That's a big goal. They just made the most of it. Around it was Fairbairn and Jess Grace just there. She's been big so far today in the ruck and around the grounds, as we've heard. And just got her right boot onto that one. So we're back out to 8 points. The instant response, it's shaping up quite nicely here at Walker Park.
Boundary.
Go for it, Kate Green.
Just saying, just the difference between the coach's box is Dwayne's walking up and down, and Mitcham are just staying really, really quiet, really poised.
So Carter won the clearance, and the shot's gone forward, and it's another goal to Evelyn Bamford, who's now got 2 for the term.
So back and forth here.
End-to-end footy as Brianna Carter won the centre clearance. Gets it to Evelyn Bamford, and that one probably looked like a much truer kick than the one before, but that's 2 for Bamford in the term, and it's probably 3 goals in the space of, what, maybe 2 minutes?
Yeah, and we've got 3.5 minutes left, guys.
So
what a game.
Back to 2 points. Now, Mitcham, what have you got this time for us? I would go around the grounds, but I don't want to take the focus away from this game at the moment, which is providing all the goods. Is doing the ruck work was Brigginshaw. Footy's come out. It's going to be Carter around it again. Boots it forward. Kick will find the boundary line, and last touch rule will mean that Mitcham can just settle there for a second. They can just take some time and assess their options.
Oscar, just with these last 2 goals from Ferntree Gully, they've all come from Brianna Carter setting it up.
She's been so good today in the midfield.
She's been one of the players that have helped them with their stoppage dominance that we saw in the first term, and it's no surprise that she's getting more of the footy and Ferntree Gully is scoring more. So we said 35 was the magic number for Mitcham's defence. Ferntree Gully have 35 on the dot now. So what's going to happen here is Grace takes a mark. She's been mega today. And there's a lead up of Fairbairn in the forward 45 as the kick will just make its way there. Fairbairn crushing the pack, and it's a great mark. Led from about 25 metres out and took the mark. And this is a chance for a set shot on goal, but possibly more importantly, a chance to take 30 seconds off the clock.
She's got to be accurate. If she's not accurate, Ferntree Gully have that opportunity to, try and get it back down there in for a major. So
the kick will come from about 42 metres out, no angle. You'd almost rather it stay in play than a behind, because it means the ball stays in contest. Kicks on its way from Fairbairn. It's a fair kick, and it's gone all the way.
What a kick.
Brilliant goal there from Georgia Fairbairn as she gets her 3rd of the day. And we said she needed to be accurate. Well, you don't get much better than that at the moment. An excellent kick from about 42 metres out, and the Tigers are back on top by 8.
That has sealed the game single-handedly there. Fairbairn absolutely Beautiful goal, exactly when they needed it.
Boundary.
Kate Green.
Comment from Davis Harrigan. What a game.
Thank you, Davis, down there. Now, Oscar, I'll let you take it away, but we're looking for Brianna Carter out of this stoppage, and here she is.
A minute left, and it's Mitcham on the wing. They're trying to get this forward again. Big kick from Holloway, and a big mark taken, so this will seal the game now with under a minute to play. 6-7-43 to 5-5-35. Mitcham lead as this ball comes inside, juggling the mark, couldn't quite take it. Able to get the hands off as she's tackled by McLeod, and it will be a free kick in the direction of Ferntree Gully. Moving this quickly up towards the wing. Mitcham able to send this back inside in the direction of Leovald as it goes out of play. So just under 15 seconds left to play in this one, and Mitcham have been so good today. So the siren will go at Walker Park, and it will be Mitcham at home. 6-7-43 to Ferntree Gully. 5-5-35 getting the chocolates here on a lovely, lovely morning of footy at Walker Park here on a nice sunny day. And an absolutely beautiful contest that we've just watched. Chris Cordes.
It was for sure. Very tightly fought encounter. Tied at all breaks. 8 points was the biggest margin now that we had at any interval. So to Mitcham, 6-7-43 over Ferntree Gully, 5-5-35. The Tigers picking up what is their, I believe, their third win of the season now. And we'll go through the goal kickers. Georgia Fairburn with 3 for herself and Mitcham, and 3 of the biggest really. When her side needed her, she stepped up. And then we've got singles to Riley Holloway, Jess Grace and Lucy Griffiths. And on the Ferntree Gully side of things, as we go to Kate Green in just a second, on the Ferntree Gully side of things, I'll be quick, Kate. Doubles to Evelyn Bamford, Nicola Junginger, and a single to Brianna Carter. As Kate takes away.
Okay, best on ground, guys. Got to give it to Grace for me, or what about you guys?
No, I agree. I think Jess Grace was excellent today.
Okay,
I'll give it to her.
Hunt her down. I think she's just been mug-hugged by Simon.
So while we wait for you to do that, Oscar, your tip for best on ground?
Yeah, I've got to go with Grace as well. She's been awesome today.
Excellent. She was brilliant in the ruck, brilliant around the grounds, and got herself a goal. So that's massive. But Ferntree Gully, they fall short of in their pursuit of their first away win in their first consecutive wins. And it's big for Mitcham, though. It's a massive win for Mitcham as that moves their record. Their form is just moving along nicely now. In their last 4 games, they're 2-2. And they're doing very well, as Kate's going to grab Jess Grace just shortly so we can have a quick chat to her. As we can hear the cheers come through the mics there. After this, we'll go around the grounds, but we're getting the headset on. We've got Jess Grace down there on the field. Jess, can you hear us?
I can, guys. Hey, how are you?
Great, thank you. But more importantly, how are you? A terrific game. Congratulations and a stellar performance from yourself.
Thanks, guys. It's a bunch of hard work put in over the last couple of weeks, finally paying off. So, good win by the girls. And
it's been at times a bit of a tough start to the season, but your last 4 weeks, you're 2-2, and you're building some nice form. How big is this win for your season?
Yeah, it's massive. I think the group has always had a fair bit of belief between ourselves, and we've been working so hard over the last couple of weeks, and girls are starting to shine and really play their roles. So everyone stood up across the board, and this is what a team win looks like.
Awesome win for you guys. What do you think changes at training next week? Does everything stay the same, or what's the go now for next week?
It's clearly work going into this week, so we won't change too much up. Energy's up. The girls are really pushing through and getting good numbers down here. So we just keep going with what we're doing, and hopefully it keeps paying off.
And Jess, just last one for you. Eastern Devils away next week. That's a chance to pick up another win. Of course, it won't be easy, but you're really starting to build some nice form going towards a finals push. How big does that game become now?
Yeah, it's massive. Every game's big now. I think, we've just got to put our best foot forward, come into every game, and we can't afford to have sort of patches here and there. We need to play full four-quarter footy, and look, credit to them so far, but we're not done yet.
Thank you very much for that, Jess. We'll let you go and enjoy the win. Congratulations on a stellar performance.
Thanks, guys.
We heard there from playing coach and
all of that down there.
player of the match for our Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round, Jess Grace. There is. She gets her Eastland Best on Ground voucher and is cheered on by her side. But
I mean, could have gone anyone, couldn't it? There's so many good players today for Mitcham and for Ferntree Gully as well. But yeah, Jess Grace, just awesome stuff from her.
That's exactly
today.
right. And even with the Eagles, who wasn't their day today, but a few massive contributors there. It has to be shout-outs to the likes of Brianna Carter and even Bridget Ellinger in the third and Kira Danapala, and players love that sort. But we can go around the grounds now that we have the chance to, just before we let you go. And must first of all say thank you to joining us on our YouTube stream. We'll be back at 1:15 for our pre-game coverage of our Eastland men's match of the round. That is first versus third, I believe, in Premier Division. East Ringwood taking on Rowville. The East Ringwood Kangaroos undefeated in that game, of course, will be live from 1:15. Doing the pre-game opening bounce at 2:20. That'll be on Facebook, YouTube, and Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. But for now, before we let you go, going around the grounds in Premier Division, the Basin just fell short of their first win as the Wild Horse Pioneers get up there 42-26. The Eastern Devils are back in the winners list as they beat Vermont away from home 66-30. Elsewhere in that division, we have Boronia hosting South Croydon, which is kicking off now. And later on, 2:30 p.m. in a massive game, 1 versus 2, the undefeated South Belgrave host Park Orchards, who sit in second. So here the siren goes. The reserves are starting to take their place, I believe, as in Division 1 we'll go to. It was Baldwin with a massive win over Donvale, 9-9-63 to Donvale, 1-5-11. Donvale still searching for their first win and won't get it this week against second off the bottom in Baldwin. Knox 8-4-52 are up over Surrey Park, 5-4-34. That is now a full-time result as Knox able to make the most of their chances and showing great accuracy. Hayley Gasparoni with 4 in that game, and North Ringwood, no further score update, 56 over East Ringwood, 13 in the derby there. So Baldwin second off top, pick up what I believe is their second win and leave Donvale scoreless. So frustrating start to the season for Donvale. But in Division 2, Waverley Blues 10-3-63. Triumphant over Beaconsfield 6-7-43. No score listed for the remaining 2 games between Montrose Berwick and Moorabbah. Kilsyth Blackburn with the bye there as they sit on top of the ladder. Elsewhere in this division, Division 3, obviously with the early start, it was South Croydon 0-1-1, falling to Heathmont 8-8-56. We don't have a score listed for Chirnside Park, who hosted North Ringwood yet. Coldstream went big over the Eastern Devils 15-11, 101 over the Eastern Devils 2-1-13. And of course here, Mitcham 8-point victors over Ferntree Gully. In Division 4, the early start, Vermont 3-2-20 over Bayswater 2-4-16, and what was an upset. We haven't had a score update from Boronia and Nunawading in a while, but early doors it was Boronia 2-12 to Nunawading yet to score. No score listed for Wanturna South as they host Warrandyte and Fair Park have the bye. And then lastly, in Division 5, it is Norwood who look like they have fallen for the first time this season, 1-7-13 to Heathmont, 6-4-40. Heathmont in second, picking up a massive scout.
I can't believe that. That's a shocker.
Huge upset.
That's a big result. As elsewhere in that division, it's Templestowe who pick up a win against the Basin to even things up between those two sides, 6-9-45 over 6-1-37, and Upper Ferntree Gully with the bye. So those are the scores around the grounds. A few upsets, a few big victories, but we're just about ready to wrap up here. Oscar, thank you for joining us. Great call as always.
Thanks again, Chris.
And Kate Green on the boundary, brilliant stuff. Who's going to be...
You.
No worries, Kate. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for all of you joining us again. Another shout out to LKLM Media and Megan Green here working the camera for us, doing an amazing job as always. As we're going to sign off for now again. join us either in person at East Ringwood Reserve or on air from 1:15 as we get ready for a massive game in the Premier Division. And it's East Ringwood taking on Rowville in that fixture. That'll be on air from 1:15 for pre-game and 2:20 for the opening bounce. That'll be on Facebook, YouTube, and Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. But for now, this has been Christopher Cordis. Thank you for joining us. And we're signing out here from Walker Park in our Deakin University Women's Match of the Round. It was Mitcham 6-7-43 beating Ferntree Gully 5-5-35. I